Ask Tom on Home Show.
Janie from Houston has some questions about a warehouse temperature.
It's a big old one, Tom. Janie writes, I have a large metal building that I use as a warehouse. It presently has 4-inch insulation on 3/4 of the building. How can I reduce the heat inside?
Well, this is going to be kind of a silly answer, but it is a true answer. But the question happens every year about this time, around July, August, and let's face it, we've had a really hot summer so far this year in the Houston area, and actually across the country, for those of you watching this in other places across the country too. There's only one way to cool, and that is to air condition, and that's why we love our air conditioners in Houston so much. If it was so easy where you just insulated a building, and that's the first thing people think, I'm just going to insulate it and it'll cool it off. It doesn't work that way. If anything, it'll actually, once it heats up, and it'll hold the heat in at night and keep it hotter longer. That's why we have insulation, is to separate the outside and the inside so the heat transfer slows down. But once it heats up and you don't condition the inside of the building, guess what? It's going to hold the heat even longer with insulation. So if you don't insulate, the best thing you can do is run fans that are going to run off electricity. They're going to be put in the wall like the big box fans. You'll see them in shops that they use, like welding shops and stuff, all the time. That's not only to get the fumes out, it's also to cool the people on the inside. So at least they have air going over their skin, because our body is cooled by evaporative cooling. And that means you want to get somewhere where there's a breeze, or create one with fans. That means air coming in, air going out. But insulation will not cool a building. If you want to cool a building and reduce the temperature, then what you have to do is mechanically cool it, and that's going to be an air conditioner, whether it's a garage, whether it's a house, whether it's a commercial building, or whether it's just a warehouse that you have.
So the air moving and stuff makes you feel cooler and all that. What about, I get that, or an air conditioner if you really want to spend the money.
That reduces the temperature, yes.
Right. What about a dehumidifier? Wouldn't lowering the humidity make the space more comfortable?
It depends. Now, you said more comfortable, not cooling. It doesn't necessarily cool it, although the temperature might drop a little bit. But your body, if you look at a human body, and everybody fits in what we call a bioclimatic chart differently and feels comfortable, but you have to have 3 things that come together at a certain point to make your body, depending if you're heavy, if you're thin, what kind of temperature you're comfortable at. But it has to do with airflow, it has to do with humidity, which is latent heat, and then it has to do with temperature. So if you get the 3 together, that means more of one and less than the other 2. As long as they come together at a point where your body feels comfortable, the answer is yes, you can. But a dehumidifier alone with no airflow and no temperature reduction, a very hot temperature, it's just going to be dry heat. So you can go to Arizona and stand out in the sun, and that's not comfortable, but it's dry.
All right. Well, yeah, if you want questions and answers to come together at the perfect place, fill out the form at HomeShowRadio.com and send us pictures, because that helps us do a good job. We post a new one of these every day, just like this. And you'll find them on our YouTube channel, Home Show Radio YouTube channel, and at HomeShowRadio.com.